Well, at least a few times a summer, somebody would come in and really fall in love with the view and wonder if I'd sell the place, and sometimes make ridiculous offers. And I have another guy who comes back every year and checks in with me, to see if I'm ready to sell. He offered me $1 million for the farm, but I don't know. It's something worth more than any amount of money just to be able to live here peacefully and quietly.
The farm that I grew up on, we only went to the store to buy toilet paper or something that we couldn't make. Had huge crocks that we had brine in to do the ham and the bacon, and smoked them ourselves. I mean, just we did it all. My parents got away from that a little, but my generation let it all go. And it's interesting because I still know how to do all of those things, but nobody does it anymore.
This was a small field that my uncle planted every year, and I would drive around and around and around the outside of that field. Now when I go by that same field, I see 3 houses. Actually, there's 4 houses and a small church there now. You know, the nostalgia part, my memories of driving this old beater car out through the rows of corn are tempered with the reality that people need a place to live, and that field has now become their home. I think change in terms of how it impacts you depends on whether or not you have an emotional attachment to what's changing.
I did. The economics of maple syrup are just like dairy farming and fishing and everything else. We got way too efficient in these great big operations with vacuum and high-tech equipment, and they can produce the syrup much cheaper than we could before. So right now the price of syrup is about what it was 20 years ago when I started sugaring, and all the costs have gone way up, and right now it doesn't make economic sense for me.
My parents, they worked really hard when they were farming, but I saw the independence that they had and the lifestyle that they chose. It's a loss. It's a loss of a way of life. It's a loss of a way of being that makes us more reliant on getting those jobs and doing more mainstream 9 to 5, punch your clock, go into work, come back kind of existences.
And number 44 is coming. She is fresh, April 22nd. She's been in just about 2 weeks.
Hey, right out of that herd.
The under on her.
So we have had a spectacular week on Wall Street. Thanks, and have a glass of champagne on me, Kai.
I'll do that. And now, let's do the numbers. The market's nosed higher today, a good end to that strong week Kim was telling us about. The Dow Industrials trotted up 26 points. That's 0.2% for a close of 11,279. The Nasdaq added 6 points, or 1/3% to 2306.
One of the most important things about Vermont's landscape is that it was a landscape of small communities, small farms, small fields, small villages, and people all knew each other and interacted, depended on each other. My own town, Barton, here, it's moving away from that. We get sentimental about something that we fall in love with, and we want to see it stay the same forever. It's a selfish thing, but that's human.